So I recently watched the Bob's Burgers movie, and I ended up liking it a lot more than I expected. When I'd heard that they were making a movie, I wasn't sure what to think, because Bob's Burgers, when compared to other adult animation shows, is super grounded and actually tries to keep things believable. But oftentimes when a TV show gets a theatrical movie release, they feel the need to make the plot huge and bombastic so it'll stand out more, kinda like the Simpsons movie. But that kind of tone doesn't really fit the show in this case, so the only good option would be to make the plot similar to what they already do in the show. And that's exactly what they do. The movie feels like it could have just been another episode of Bob's Burgers, but in a good way. The plot was definitely bigger than any episode of the show, but it was still grounded enough to fit in perfectly. And the things that they chose to focus on instead to make it stand out were the visuals, which was expected, and the musical numbers, which were honestly super fun, and I'm actually considering getting the soundtrack on vinyl. One thing the movie does really well, which other movies based on TV shows have struggled with in the past, is the characters and their motivations. Often when we see these kind of movies, they'll set up side plots or backstories for the characters that seem super important in the movie, but don't ever get mentioned in the show. But the Bob's Burgers movie gives all the characters side plots and motivations that make perfect sense in the show, even if they're never mentioned again. But even that's something that they get right, because they actually do mention parts of the movie in the show, which I didn't even realize when I was watching that episode, but I love that. The Bob's Burgers movie isn't some side thing that's completely separate, it's clearly meant to be a part of the show. But it's also not vital to have watched the movie to understand the episode that it gets mentioned in, which is even better. Overall, like I said, it's a good movie, and if you like Bob's Burgers, you'll probably like it. And if you don't, watch it anyway.